to the street.
Back on the program, Focus AM 45. I had told you that we'll be talking with an interesting guest. He's representing those who are in Akwa Ibom State for a retreat. What kind of retreat? We'll get to know what the retreat is about. And the members of the team are the people who belong to Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, and are being led by the president, Prince Babatunde Adeleke Oguntade, FIIN FCID, is in the studio. So we welcome him to
Good morning.
studio. Yes, okay, so before we actually talk about the retreats, let's look at your institution. What is involved in your institution? What does it do?
Well, thank you. The Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers is the umbrella body that is responsible for the training and skills development, determination and standards for all practicing insurance brokers in Nigeria. That is, for you to be registered, to be a professional insurance broker, you must register with us, first as an individual, and then your corporate practice too must be registered. And we have various levels of registration. We have student registration, we have associateship, we have the fellowship, which is the highest level. Of course, the council has a governing board that is headed by the president and chairman in council. And on that board, you have representatives of the Honorable Minister for Finance, the representative of the Honorable Minister for Education. We have the Commissioner for Insurance, who is the chief regulator for insurance in Nigeria, and 30 other people. We have an executive secretary, CEO, who handles the day-to-day administration of the council. As we speak, the membership registration committee of our council has on its record about 600 financial members who to date are practicing evidently across Nigeria. And of course, within Nigeria, we are represented at 6 geographical regions. We have the South-South, where we are now. We have the Southeast, we have the Southwest, we have Lagos, we have Abuja, and we have the Northern Area Committees. These area committees are just like the Grand Officers Commanding, working. They are the grassroots people who are organizing and who are helping to disseminate the ideals of the council at the grassroots level, and at the highest of the council, the board, at that level. The NCRIB started at the Nigerian Corporation of Insurance Brokers in 1962. We have 4 notable founding fathers. Then by 2003, an act of parliament was promulgated that made us a body parliament. That is the NCRIB Act number 21 of 2003. And since then, we've been off and rolling. For me, I became the president on the 19th of October last year. I am the 22nd president. That means I have 41 legends who have held sway at the council.
It means the council has really stayed. So can you let us into the roles of insurance brokers? Okay, the role you play, and how do we distinguish between you and the agents?
Well, the first role of an insurance broker is that of education. We educate people who will be consumers of insurance on what they really need, what class of insurance they need. Because the peculiarities of risk is there. The risk that I'm exposed to is different from the risk that a younger person will be exposed to, given the endowments by way of age, material wealth, the games, the sports, the profession that I'm into. For instance, I would rather tell you as a broadcaster that you should ensure your voice, your well-being. In fact, your voice is the real essence of your being, the real essence of your practice, you know. And For a surgeon, it will be to insure his fingers. You understand? Because without his fingers, he cannot roll his scalpel. And for a sports person, he must insure his limbs and his eyes. So you can see the peculiarity of the risks that are various exposures give to us. So for an insurance broker is supposed to do a profiling of the individual, business, or concern, and say these are what are likely to happen to you. These are the kind of setbacks that are likely to happen. This is the financial magnitude that you will need to put yourself back in such positions. And we also do advocacy. We try to enlighten both the insured and the uninsured. We will enlighten government on what they can do to sustain business growth within the economy. At the NCRIB, we've taken it upon ourselves to do some kind of enlightenment by working with non-governmental organizations. Sometimes we even work with organizations and associations like small and medium-scale enterprises. We talk to government, we advise ministers, we are always all over the place to ensure that our role as a catalyst of growth and risk management is well envisioned, and that is what we do. And then apart from that, when we eventually get it to buy policy, we follow you from the moment you sign the slip to the moment a risk catalyzes, and to the moment that your claim is settled, to the moment that you get back to the position that you were, if not better, before the loss.
Okay.
And then for us as insurance brokers, our thing is professionalism, integrity, and service.
Okay, I had asked how we can distinguish between the registered broker and the agent.
Yeah, the agent is an unskilled man who sees insurance as a meal ticket. He does not hold you any responsibility.
He doesn't play any significant
his
role?
job is just for him to sell insurance to you, collect his commission. With the policy server, it's fine. I'm not trying to be, but I'm not trying to be condescending.
Okay.
But for an insurance broker must have gone to school. There's a required level of skill for you to acquire before you can even become registered. I'll tell you, there are professional qualifications for you to attain, level of standard that you must attain. You must be an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, London, or any other relevant body of such comparison. Then in addition to that, you will now practice you under a broking firm for a while, and then you will now become a registered insurance broker either as an associate or counsel, or you will rise to become a fellow before you can be a broker.
Okay.
There's a number of years of articulate practice and study that you require to become an insurance broker. Apart from that, the law also demands further that you have statutory obligations by way of registration with the Corporate Affairs Commission. There are minimum capital base that you should have, minimum level of training that you should have. You see, all those conditions are there. So it's something that you acquire over time. And after you have passed through the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, you are now registered, then you now approach the National Insurance Commission to be licensed as an insurance broker. It's a whole gamut of processes that you don't achieve in one day.
Okay. So you've mentioned the benefits of undertaking the insurance policy. Now, how has the patronage been, so far in Nigeria?
Well, insurance generally has low patronage.
Why?
But it is encouraging. One, understanding. Two, awareness. Three, poverty. The poverty level in Nigeria is alarming. And but that is not really an excuse, because whatever is worth having is worth insuring. If you have a telephone And some of my friends have told me that it is not poverty because you see people having handsets that cost between 250,000 to 1.5 million naira. Most of those people don't even have roofs over their head, but they can afford to buy those phones. And when those phones get stolen, they can afford to replace them. And insurance is just a tool that they could have used to get what we call succor or compensation should anything happen to their assets. But because people are just, they don't see insurance as a tangible commodity. You know, it's like I'm selling you peace of mind. It is until you get into chaos that you will understand the value for peace. But if I'm selling you a nice shoe or a nice trinket, you can admire and appreciate immediately. You see, somebody once said, a retired head of state of this country once said, retired general once said, insurance is like the army. Nobody appreciates the army until the time of war. So nobody appreciates insurance until a calamity, a catastrophe of large magnitude or anything has happened. I'll give you instances. In Ibadan recently, there were bomb blasts in a residential area. Nobody would have expected it. A lot of people lost billions of naira. Some of them had the fortune of being insured, but a lot of them are uninsured. And they have to start all over again. Those who are insured, you can imagine them just smiling. Okay, the land is still there. I'll get my compensation. I'll rebuild my house.
Okay.
But the man without insurance, what do you think that person will do?
That's sad.
So it's better imagined. So that's what we talk about, peace of mind. Insurance gives you peace of mind. And as insurance brokers, we are advocates for peace of mind. Advocate for the continuous well-being of people. Advocate for the sustenance of good business structures. And you know, when you have good business structures, you have what you call some semblance of security. A filled stomach will not be violent. A contented soul will listen.
Okay. You've talked about lack of awareness being one of the causes of low patronage. Do you think that your council should employ the services of media consultants so as to carry out more publicity?
That's why you see we have one of you. Somebody just introduced himself as somebody building it. You see, within the insurance practice, we have every form of professional working. Okay. Insurance is one profession that has engaged every other profession. Like be you a lawyer, a medical doctor. You need medical doctors to do medical examinations for life assurance policies. You need engineers to look at the integrity of buildings. You need people in the PR to do damage control. You know, no matter what you do, people want to call it dog a bad name. You know, people in the PR, people like you who work for us. And you also need pastors who will also tell you that that thing which you are talking about, even though it's in the Bible, does not speak to common sense.
It's okay. You've mentioned some calamities that could befall people, and I easily remember that of collapsed buildings and of course buildings that are
so many
by fire.
So many, yeah.
Okay, so what does your insurance policy do in terms of incessant fire outbreaks, and what role is the industry playing to mitigate incidences of fire in the buildings and all other ones?
Yeah, like I said to you, we are advisors, we are intermediaries. We go around to look at the companies of first-class security that can ensure that should loss occur. We have quite a number of them that are registered in Nigeria. In Nigeria today, you have a choice of between 54 insurance companies to pick from. But you have a choice of over 600 brokers who can be your intermediary or associates or advocate to pick the right policy. Of course, we know as professionals that the strength of the various companies vary, and it is our role to direct insurers on where to go for particular kind of risks. You have companies that are very solid when it comes to personal lines, when it comes to life assurance, when it comes to health management insurance. We have those that are very solid in engineering insurance processes, contractors on rigs, building under construction. We have those who are so strong that their experience of motor insurance is fantastic and they offer some of the best rates, and their response to loss mitigation is so fast. So our role as an intermediary is to continue to bring a willing buyer of insurance and a willing seller to a point of affordability, convenience of both of them. Because insurance, though we have some businesses that are tariff, that everybody must sell at the same price, but most of our policies are not tariffed. So we go to shop for the cheapest, the most affordable, but the most secure. That's the role of the broker. We just bring them together. And let me also be quick to say this. Whether you use a broker or not, you would be paying the same amount of premium. But I tell you, you are likely to regret not using a broker, because the chances that you will be able to negotiate adequacy of the compensation that you need cannot be ascertained. But the broker will always be sure that the underwriter is fair to you, and you are fair to the underwriter, and that you are better placed.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. But I have interacted with some of your people, and I have learned that despite the fact that the government is even at the forefront of encouraging people to embrace insurance policies, that some governments at different levels have not really insured their assets. Why is that, and what have you done to bring them, closer to actually carry out these policies?
Well, it's unfortunate that those who should know not know, or where they know. You see, the same menace that the individual suffers, that he considers insurance as the last thing on his agenda, is what most state governments face. They would rather award contracts where they think people they will be busy calling you people to come and show your camera, and to make noise that we've done this road. I don't know why government would be carrying camera that they've done water, they've done road. Government should look at pensions that they are supposed to be managing, they cannot manage them. They don't even fund them. Most insurance policies that government take, they are third party. But you find that there's been some measure of improvement with some revenue generating parastatals of government. Those ones know that because they don't have the capital, the recurrent capital for some certain things, they have to buy insurance. But where you even have insurance premium, we were with the Federal Minister for Budget and National Planning, and we have to start thinking that states and government agencies should put insurance premium budgeting as primus, and where they do, they should not allow environment. You find that they put those premium allocation in their budget. At the end of the day, they do environments and convert the premium to do some other things. But the corporate Nigeria is more responsible to insurance operations in Nigeria, because the average businessman knows that he has got to borrow money, and perhaps by the demand or the dictates of the loan from the bank, he has to have insurance covered. So I would say the corporate Nigeria has been very, very supportive. They are more responsible, but we still need to continue to appeal to government. We find instances that they even tell us to ensure the life of civil servants, and we have to start pleading with them, and they start doing as if they are pricing people. That maybe why don't you pay in 3 or 4 installments? Believing that, see, premium is a function of liability. If I take 10 naira from you, it means that my liability towards it is in excess of 1,000 naira. So if you don't give me the 10 naira when I'm supposed to have invested it, how will I be able to meet the liability when it arrives?
I think it still boils down to that awareness. Okay, before we actually get into the retreat that brought you to Akwa Ibom, let me quickly ask you this. Recently, the premium for motor insurance, which is the commonest form of insurance, was increased, and this generated some form of disquietness amongst the motorists. So, could you talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this increase?
Okay, one, what was increased is the sum insured, the benefit. You know, you go to buy food, you want to eat rice and meat. Somebody now says, I'll put plantain, I'll put towel, I'll put orishirishi. Would you pay the same price that you were paying for just rice and stew? Before now, insurance premium for third party, that's a police maker pass, was 5,000 naira. Some people were even doing it at 1,500. People get knocked down. You have a lot of victims of road accidents who don't get compensation. Then what government did was to now think of standardizing the benefits. And they now said the cost of medical, the cost of replacement of properties, the cost of repair, generally, the value of life should just come up. They took it from 1 million naira benefit to 3 million naira. Nobody said anything about that. They only said from 5,000 to 15,000. But I'm happy to tell you that the benefit now is higher. Even for death occurring on the road to a third party person, the figure is infinite. And you know, insurance is a business, it's not Salvation Army. They're not doing charity. So we need to have adequate premium so that we can pay adequate compensation to our people. The man on the road could be your brother, could be my sister, could be anything. And we now go cap in hand within families where somebody who knocked the person down has been on the road illegally. The man should go to jail and rot in jail. But we let him go. Okay, fine, because we as Africans don't like to get into litigation with our people. Take the minimum thing, third party cover, so that at least if you choose to be responsible, not to take care of your own interest, you can take care of the other road user, so that government can have peace of mind. The first responsibility of government is the protection of life and property, and that is where that thought stems from. That we need to continue to provide and protect these people. But what is 3 million naira when it comes to damage? I'm sure your car, if it gets seriously damaged, I'm not talking of even total write-off. 3 million naira may not even insure you. And the man who has run into your car, maybe it's one downfall or keke rider, will start prostrating madam. I beg, make you pass over me, make a go, as if you are Jesus. So let the man do the proper thing. 15,000 naira is so meager. And it should not have caused any uproar. But if I were to entertain just for 5 of us here, will I not spend more than 15,000 naira? That you even forget that day. But the benefit of a life of an insurance policy is for life. At least for 1 year. 1 year is almost like a lifetime.
Okay. It's enlightening to talk with you, dear viewer. The members of Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers are in Akwa Ibom State for a retreat. And leading the team is Prince Babatunde Adeleke, FIIN FCIB, and he's in the studio right now. So if you are just joining us, know that you have missed somehow, but not completely, because we still have more to discuss with him. So, sir, what do you formed the decision of choosing Akwa Ibom State for the CEO's retreat?
Yeah, for our council, we, like I said earlier, we represented the 6 geographical regions of Nigeria. This is not the first time that we are coming to Akwa Ibom. We are here in 2019, and what we saw at that time was that there are so many cottage industries, private businesses, family businesses growing in the south area. And we see the people of Akwa Ibom as people of diligence and resilience, and they're like Asian economy. Every growing economy that is supposed to be meaningful should have this growth precipitated on family businesses. And then insurance is a grassroots business. And we feel that coming to touch base with Akwa Ibom once again. We will engineer the kind of coach that we envisage that should happen, the kind of informative agenda that will change the narrative of insurance penetration should be at places like this. And apart from that, we see the serenity around there, no banditry. And I see lots of smiling, beautiful women. You know I'm a prince, I love beautiful women.
You know.
Incidentally, I have two lieutenants who are beautiful women. You know? One is a brilliant lawyer, the other one is a member of the he's an alumnus of the National Institute, the first in insurance. And
maybe before we leave, you flaunt them for us to see.
No, and the cameras can you search, you find them.
Should look for them.
You look for them, like they say, like camera looks for people. So we are here to talk to our people. We want to give our members who are in this region some sense of belonging. You know, this is a flagship event that we take across the country on a yearly basis. Last year it was at the Southwest. The year before, I think we were, I can't remember. But I know this year we are here. And I know next year we're going to the north. And then we'll be able to continue to propagate and enlighten our people, give them sense of belonging, encourage them to go deeper and deeper into the hinterlands, and probably to even get some greater and younger, you know, we need the vibrancy of the youth. We need the vibrancy of the youth to ply our trade. And then we want to get a lot more people into the skills sector. We don't want them to just become insurance agents. We want to get them into the skills sector that insurance broking represents.
Okay, the retreat is tax CEOs retreat. Who are the CEOs? What does it mean? What does it stand for?
The managing directors of the various companies. We have over 600 registered insurance brokers. But I can tell you that we have over 600 that are active. They are going to storm. Yeah, we started yesterday. Some of us arrived yesterday. You know what that means? We're going to be contributing to the economy of Akwa Ibom. We're going to be buying, eating, and selling. We're going to be interacting. We're going to be talking to the people. We're going to affect the mindset of the people positively. And you too, we are going to take something away from them. So the CEOs and the managing directors of insurance broking firms will be here with their executive directors, their principal managers, and we will be rubbing minds. We will be looking at issues as they affect our practice. We will be looking at issues as they affect the industry. We will be looking at what we are doing that we need to do more about. Like your program is focus. We're going to focus on those things that will give us greater strength and areas of improvement. And of course, at the end of the day, another thing is that we're expecting the governor to come and give us the keynote address and declare the event open. But we know the big man is still in Abuja. We are hopeful that he will come in today. And we also expect to visit the urban and tell them that we are here and give us your real blessings. And at the end of the day, we're going to have some kind of communique we are going to share with people. And we invite the press, of course, to come and herald some of the things that we are doing positively. And if there's anything that we are not doing right, we'd like to hear from people and the press.
Okay, I have learned that the event will take place at Havila Towers Hotel at 39 Apostolic Church Road, Osoma, Itiamete, Uyo.
You're right, you're right.
And the theme is building institutions that survive their promoters. What's the significance of that theme?
Sustenance. Sustenance. When you start a business and it takes some years for the business to grow, then suddenly maybe the promoter of that business dies and there's no good succession planning. So it's a loss to the economy. Whatever that business was putting into the GDP will evaporate. But when you now have sustenance, you have succession planning that strengthens institutions and those companies continue to grow. You hear of Toyota. Mr. Toyota is no longer alive. but the product is there, the car, the manufacturing giant is there. We have other things, but within even our own enclave, within our own business, we have broken companies that are over 50, 60 years old. And some of them are coming to share their experiences, their life experiences with younger organizations, so that all of us can continue to survive and coexist positively, to continue to create ambience for job creation, passage of skill and knowledge, and then to continue to impact the economy. And that's what we're trying to do. You cannot see across your fingers the gains of the thing, but what you will take away at the end of the day will even provoke further thoughts that you may not have been mistaken. Okay, and that is just the essence.
Okay, you've talked about some of the gains, and after this retreat, when you gather some of the key points, how do you hope to use it to improve the insurance sector in Nigeria?
Well, like I said, we keep collaborating with other sectors. Insurance is not an island. We keep having trainings and seminars. After this retreat, our council organizes trainings and seminars almost on a weekly basis. And we touch various angles and sectors of the economy. So even from this one, whatever we have garnered, will go down, we cascade down as far as we can reach. And of course, when you keep discussing an issue, you now have emerging issues coming from that same issue, and then you keep getting better. So we believe that after this retreat, the council will be better, our CEOs will be better informed, their employees in the office who could not be part of this will learn from the training and from the takeaways that their bosses will bring to the place. And they individually too will touch one or two persons, and that is the way it flows.
Okay. You have also mentioned about moving forward, some future things that will take place so as to make sure that the industry moves forward. But can you highlight any key initiative or project that your council will focus on to promote the growth and innovation in the insurance sector?
Yeah, what we are doing at the moment is to break new grounds, and there are areas where people have never heard about insurance. I tell you, one of those things that we're doing is to get in touch with the creative industry in Nigeria. They have their intellectual properties and assets that die with them. Some of them, before they even are able to harness some of these things, are encumbered by the vicissitudes of life. So we bring to them covers that will enable the potentials that they have to emanate and manifest. And I will tell you that industry alone, if well harnessed, if well supported by the insurance industry, the way we are planning it, will create more wealth than oil and gas. Because it's an industry that is limitless. It's an unending industry with capacity for growth and development. That is one area. The other area that we are looking at is ensuring that insurance as a course of study is taken to the grassroots, primary schools, secondary schools. Recently, the NCRIB was involved in rewriting the curriculum of studies for insurance study in secondary schools. We started with Lagos State. Now we're working with the National Council for Education and Research Development. We are doing something in that area. Then we are also looking at the possibility of partnering with the media on a regular basis. That we have our members who are members too. We have the Insurance Correspondents Association, with whom we share information, who are able to put and highlight some of the gains and the good things that are happening within the industry. So beyond that, we'll continue to look at a way to deepen insurance. Now, the council is looking at an avenue to use web aggregation to deepen insurance. We wanted insurance broker to be a web aggregator in addition to being the regular advocate of insurance practice. We'll continue to see what we can do. Some of them do not come readily to mind now, but we have so much for this night.
Okay, so you earlier mentioned delving into the creative area and that some of these intellectual properties have, died with them. I know it's lack of preservation culture, and but today we have the technology that can help us do this. So I would like to ask you, in what ways do you see the role of technology evolving in the insurance industry, and how is your council preparing members for these changes?
Yeah, technology is the way to go. I tell you, within the insurance industry, there are people who ply their trade using insurance and using technology. We call them the insurtech. They operate they are borderless operators, and they operate online. And then we have quite a number of them who've been able to design policies outside the standard insurance policies that we do. You know, intellectual property has its peculiarity, and it has a very short lifespan. And technology is something that can advance it and bring it to the fore immediately. And you also have the risks that are inherent in technology as well, because you have the cyber risks that are inherent in technology. Somebody can dilute your ideas, turn it, you won't even recognize that idea. But because sometimes people do not have, we have insurance people who also invest in making sure that those productions come online in good time. It's not just insuring them that we do. We also investors too. Insurance people invest premium that they collect, and we help the people using technology as well as the various platforms that are available to actualize their dreams. So technology, it is for us on one part, and we have our areas of specialization. We have those who are really doing that, and that's why I spoke to the fact that some people are going to be web aggregators. The people doing insurtech are there, and the council is facilitating a meeting point between the people doing insurtech and the creative economy. We were with the Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board. We are talking to them, and we are also going to meet and add to that the Minister for the Creative Economy. But we're just looking. I won't tell you most of the things that they're doing because they're still in the lab.
Yeah,
We'll get them done.
okay, you had earlier mentioned that your institution is good at organizing seminars, retreats, just to create awareness. Now you have CEO's retreat. This is specifically for CEOs. So what sets it apart from other events that you've been organizing? And let me add, can others attend?
Yes, we invite others, they attend. The one for why this one is peculiar is because it's a kind of esteem program between CEOs. It's a kind of refresher course. You don't assume you've seen it all. There's always something new. Now you need to get the CEO out of his table, let him come and share thoughts with his colleagues, and let him go back a brand new person. It's an opportunity to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Simply put, that's what the CEOs will do about.
Okay, that's interesting. So as a leader in the insurance sector, how do you envision the future of insurance regulation in Nigeria, and what role will your council play in shaping this?
Yeah, we are involved. We are involved. Luckily, we have a new CEO, new man at NICON, that's Mr. Olusegun Moshe. He's supposed to be here with us. We are always exchanging memoranda with the regulator, because we are the operator. We want to be regulated, really, but we want a regulatory process that will grow the industry, not that will kill the industry. We know where the shoe pinches, and we're always ready to exchange ideas with the regulator. And of course, you can see the regulation has evolved in Nigeria I can say now since the first NICOM Act, 1997. And that act is still the same book that we are regulating the industry about 50 years later. No, it's due for review, and we've been looking at it. And of course, recently we have some ambience of change and hope and growth in the Consolidated Insurance Bill that seeks to look at what the lacuna has been in all the various laws concerning insurance. And then the NCRIB is open. We are open. We are a very good partner, and will continue to partner with the regulator. We are willing, we are diligent membership. That, we are lawful people.
Interesting. That brings hope to the industry. Before I let you go, quickly, how do you believe the outcome of this retreat will reflect in the overall advancement and reputation of the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers?
You see, we run a council that is always really involved in itself. We believe so much in innovation and drive, and it's never failed us. From every retreat, as we rise from every retreat, the council becomes better. The enablement that learning gives us is always superlative. And rising from this retreat, I see more of our members beginning to grow their businesses with ease, because knowledge will have been impacted. Fellowship will have engendered some kind of camaraderie that will be supportive to each other. Is that your challenge? Okay, this is the way to go about it. And although we are competitors, but we are supportive competitors. Some of our leaders who have made it in the industry are always availing themselves to us to grow and mentor other people. Recently, we were with the British Insurance Brokers Association in the UK. We have a particular company that has been a leading broking company in Nigeria. That company has always availed itself and its resources